In a new update for Elder Scrolls Online, Bethesda will be implementing a new Endeavor system for players to earn crown crates without breaking the bank. This means going on quests, hunting down certain enemies, crafting things, and using specific items for an extended amount of time. Players will now have to grind in order to earn their crown crates. But this isn't the issue here. It's a relief, honestly, not having to use money to buy crown crates. But why is it changing? To get into the topic and the argument about microtransactions in games, we need to take a step back into time. Microtransactions today are nothing new. However, they were the focus of controversy for a while when certain games started making it nearly impossible to progress into a game without them. Microtransactions are perks, cosmetics, or extras that players can purchase in-game with money, like legit money. The earliest one I could find was in 2006 for the game Elder Scrolls Oblivion, where players could buy a horse armor for their in-game mounts for $2.50. This must have been super successful because now most games have microtransactions in them. In 2016, they started to get annoying to me while playing Overwatch. Thankfully for Overwatch, the loot boxes you earn or bought were always containing customizable items, not things that would give you the upper hand in a game and make it unfair to others. Microtransactions became a serious issue when it literally became pay to win with some games that were highly anticipated. EA is a company that has been a serious focal point for this one. Not only do they release almost all the sports games you can think of, but were also the ones that worked on Star Wars games and The Sims. The Sims is one of the worst when it comes to this microtransaction situation. In order to keep your game interesting without using mods, here's a Dust Bunny pack for $10 that nobody asked for. The Sims 4 caused some serious scrutiny when it first came out because of how empty the game was compared to its predecessors. They expected the players to buy everything for it when it first came out, and when people started going at them about this, they began doing updates of free content to calm down the storm. Just recently, they did do an update that allows you to pick a custom skin tone for your Sims instead of picking from a swatch. The Sims isn't the only game affected by this style of microtransactions in games. Star Wars was the main focus during the controversy a few years back. In 2018, Star Wars Battlefront 2 was one that many gamers were looking forward to in the announcement at E3. However, what they promised and what was given were completely different. Not only was the game subpar at best for some players, but players also noticed that they would possibly have to use microtransactions to get better at playing the game with in-game perks and gear. Other games like Destiny 2 and Shadow of War also had microtransactions at the time as well during launch, but some of those were removed after all the scrutiny came out. Some people were so upset about this that they were actually worried that it would encourage children to gamble. There were issues for a while about kids stealing their parents' credit cards and using substantial amounts of money on in-game currency for in-game content cosmetics. Fortnite was one of those, and it was a main example. I can't tell you how many videos I have seen of parents tearing their kids a new one for using their credit cards on Fortnite. Gotta get them V-Bucks, am I right? It got to the point that it was such an issue that some states, even countries, would threaten to ban games or seek legal action. This scared a lot of the big gaming companies, and some of them have fixed their games to have little or no transactions as of now. Even through all of this, EA is still one of the biggest gaming companies with the most microtransactions in their games as of now. From the sounds of it, they don't plan on changing their ways anytime soon. So, how are things now? There are options for microtransactions in almost every single game you and I play. The question is, are they affecting us as much as they have before? Well, yes, but many people have just gotten used to the fact that they are there and ignore them most of the time. On top of that, most companies know where to draw the line in the sand and exactly how much the microtransactions should contain. Most companies have made a solution to be fair as well. Instead of a straight out paying for things wanted or released in the game, players can work for it and grinding as well. If you are like me, you aren't really tempted by microtransactions. Everyone has bought something in-game here and there, and every now and then. But the fact that some games were completely pay to win was unfair for the rest of the population, and those companies that released those games deserved the backlash that they got. I can see microtransactions slowly dying out, but there is a chance of games starting to cost more since the companies are struggling with the costs of creating new games. This is why microtransactions became a thing in the first place. Yeah, some companies were being greedy and trying to get every drop of money they could out of people, but other companies were really struggling with money, and when issues started to arise about games being released that were half-assed and not complete at launch, Is there anyone to blame for these microtransactions? I can't honestly say. You could blame big companies, but they go off of what works. People buying a lot through in-game encouraged these microtransactions to go too far in some ways, but also the fact that companies were willing to go that far and jeopardize the games they had released was also concerning. Almost every game nowadays has microtransactions of some sort. There is nothing we can really do to stop them other than resist the urge to purchase them. This is why the ESO update is probably happening the way it is. People aren't buying the crown crates, so they might as well earn them a different way. That game is making the company bank with its constant DLC pack additions, memberships, and constant new players anyway. So in my opinion, maybe they don't need people to buy the crown crates anymore. For many companies, I know some of them are tiptoeing around right now to make sure they aren't put in the spotlight with microtransactions. Some are trying to survive because of how lazy they have become with their game launches. If they put some effort back into creating a decent game and not just a sequel that is only halfway done on launch, maybe gamers would actually be happy to purchase them again. As for the microtransactions, I know some players still don't trust them and avoid them as much as possible, but they won't be going away anytime soon. That is going to be it for this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you all next time.